My name is Hannah Turnwood Knott. I'm 24, I'm bi, and I use female pronouns. I live in a suburb. I have filled out a lot of social media, so I'm used to this. My favourite is where you can just scroll and scroll and scroll forever. I love my degree, but it didn't get me much, so I had to do something else. My girlfriend left me with a very weird explanation, 9 months and 23 days ago. I sat down and worked that out on a weird calendar website. It made me sad when I did it, and I did it to make me sad. My favourite pizza topping is mushroom. I don't like Chinese food, but I love that fried cabbage they call seaweed. I finally took my girlfriend's social media off my bookmarks. I'm sad at how many times I've mentioned the internet. I don't really like sport, and I don't like fashion, I guess. I passed my driving test on the second go. I'm running out of steam.
That's fine, that's enough.
What was the point of that?
I'm sorry, did that make you uncomfortable?
No, I just...
Room tone, establishing a baseline. Allows me to work out the you from the not you.
The not me? Like, the subconscious?
And the bones?
The bone's a mix of Mongolian lamb, a particularly interesting chicken my associate cooked last week, and fish for their thinness.
He's divining with them.
Telling the future? I'm not paying for a psychic.
Oh, no, we don't usually show this much of the process.
This session is free.
Thanks. I'm not sure I care though. I don't really believe you, or in spirits, or whatever it is you're looking at.
Fine, the case is free.
He's looking at the movements in the bones.
But he is shaking the pan.
Exactly! I'll be frank because I am quite frazzled.
How frank are we being?
I am taking cases that make these bones appear in certain patterns for free because we're okay for money at the moment, and Brutus, Jenny called recently.
For a case?
For you.
Not recently.
Huh. So, I need to broaden my net, and we're taking ghost cases.
I said on the phone that I don't think it's ghosts.
It's never ghosts.
Is that a house joke?
This is a flat, and more importantly, an office now. Remind me what you said in the email.
You can stop whenever you want.
Well, no, of course you can.
You're not just going to do this stuff though, right? You are going to investigate.
Of course.
Okay, so I just got promoted at my job.
Congratulations! What do you do?
Retail administration. But I worked my way up from shop floor to management.
That's hell.
Anyway, I was heading to work and I met Janice on the train. She was talking about Johnny and his problem with Melissa. So we get into the offices and there's a bronze plaque on the doorway, like the awning. Patio sounds wrong.
Georgian building?
Yeah, boxy.
Stairs?
Yeah, but only like 4.
Doorway is adequate for this, guys.
So there's a plaque and it says, protected by guardians.
It's a private security firm, I think. Direct alarm to them, like American TV.
Yes.
So I assume as well. Well, I didn't assume, but I asked Janice and she said that.
It had always been there.
Oh my god, exactly! And I felt...
Like you were in a dream.
Whoa, okay.
It's the bones.
Good bones.
Did you check against photos?
Well...
It was there, wasn't it?
I honestly would have noticed. I'm that kind of person.
Do you think this is the Mandela effect?
Oh god no, that's stupid.
Agreed.
Also agreed, actually.
So...
What's up?
When you did see it...
There's something else?
Yes, there was a visitation and... oh. Miss, would you like a tissue?
Yes, please, I'm sorry.
Oh, let me grab them.
We can stop.
No, I don't want to. You guys believe me?
We believe you as much as you don't believe in those bones.
Is Jenny your girlfriend?
Here we go.
That's a big question.
They're rose scented. I'm a sucker for it.
Thank you. I thought you were crazy, but it's like that. This is the first time I can breathe, and my stomach isn't knotted anymore.
You've picked up since I said it was free.
No, I mean.
Please continue.
You know when people see ghosts and when it's like ghosts at work and stuff, and the Roman soldiers in the basement, and it's like, hey, I was there staying late and it was dark and they were see-through. This wasn't like that at all. We were there in the middle of the day, Melissa was out smoking and I could see her from the window. Everyone else was just sitting there, and then this like wet, rippling wave.
Go on.
It was like the star thing from that Kurt Russell movie, but it hurt to look at. I thought it was a terrorist attack or something. It looked like it split Ramesh in half. I froze.
And the dude?
Like a man made of bin bags with like things hanging off him, and he dripped and he just stepped through the table.
Christ.
He like clipped through stuff like he was on a higher layer of Photoshop. That's not a great way of...
Oh, no, God, no. I fully understand.
So he was made of bin bags, like this oily looking black plastic, and he had like bottle green eyes, big and square, and he turned to me and just screamed, and it was like his mouth kept like going...
What did it sound like?
Well, like I say it's a scream, but it's like the hole made no noise, his body, the oil, silence, the footsteps, anything. It screamed, and I looked at Melissa, Johnny, back at the half of Ramesh I could see, and they just...
No reaction.
Yeah, I couldn't bear it, so I hid in the loos, and I googled who would listen, and you guys were the second result under Samaritans.
What do you make of it, Luce? Is it a feeling spot?
Doesn't follow.
Furniture?
Fear is easy currency. Miss Tone would not.
Please, Hannah.
I am entirely perplexed by this. It seems well in my remit of understanding. I have no quick solution, sadly. It sounds old, and it sounds full of purpose. I don't know why only you could see the damn thing, yet if you can, I need you to rest easy. And take some time off work if you can. The moment you return to work, get back in contact. I promise you, we will solve this incident.
I'll probably punch it.
He will probably punch it.
Will you two be able to see it?
We wish we couldn't.
We have solutions to those problems. Please, we do not want to delay you any further.
He meant the exact opposite. He didn't want me to delay him any further. But hell, he had made whatever he was going to do free. A young woman with a pink ribbon in her hair looked at me on the way out of the office, out of the building. They seem to have ghosts, no matter what they say, whether they believed in them. Before I got on the tube, I used my data to look at their reviews again. I saw, as before, that people were pretty positive, but I noticed now that people weren't specific.
As consultants, they proved invaluable for their cost.
When you feel like you haven't got a solution, the little one helps, and the big one makes tea.
Cannot recommend highly enough. I don't want to go too far into it, but they saved me from some serious hassle.
I actually advise them to be less generous with their time in future business transactions.
And then one really spooked me.
Thank you. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Apathy is ebbing. I don't yet know how to feel. And empathy for something I can't determine if it's real. Danger pull the trigger, or will that be me? Acceptance is so much bigger than I wished it would be.
a city that never sleeps without the sun creeping through their curtains first, where men, women, and children alike cling to the thinnest parameters of normalcy, like it could flutter away at any moment, you might find yourself seeking a raft from Kane and Fields, paranormal investigators. In this week's episode, Protected by Guardians.
So I went back to work, sent the text, and lived in fear every morning. And then I lived in dread, and then I went back to living in boredom, like everyone else. Ugh, sorry. I don't want to sound like an edgelord in my own narration. Never mind. So I moved numbers from one column to another column, and then decimalised them. Sure, whatever. I hated it, but by God, it's nothing compared to the shop floor. So I kept on and kept on keeping on. The grind, the work, the daily. God, I'm boring myself. There were no portals, no beasts, nothing. I sent the text again after 2 days and got a quick response.
Don't worry about it. B.F.
I can't believe the scam artists were blowing me off. They made it free so they could ignore me. For free! I knew it. Just for a second, hiding from work, looking at my phone in the loos, and occasionally staring at the blank store wall, I lived in fear again. Christ. Then, in the light of no hope, the phone light stood in its place and vibrated in my hand.
Don't worry about it, yet. B.F.
I wiped away a tear and felt like the silliest person in the world, for both losing it again and for this giving me confidence. For finding hope in a text message from a crazy. Work, walk, tube, home, ready meal curry, for 3 minutes in the microwave, anime, bed.
Has Moulton Abbey rung you?
Huh?
Moulton Abbey. I think it's 242 or 251 or something. They keep ringing here because they say allocation has messed up distribution.
Eesh, how many cages?
Only 60-something. It's been 3 days in a row, though.
Oh, that's awful. Those are 13-hour days.
Not in the handbook.
Double yeesh. Ugh, they haven't rung me yet. I've been on customer support this week.
Oh, bloody hell. Musical chairs. Well, let me know if the powers that be move you back to something useful.
I like Melissa. Not many people do.
Hanna,
Speaking of,
go for lunch. If you do it now, I think we can stagger and stretch them.
Cool, thanks, Johnny.
supermarket, park, lunch, bench. Lucifer Kane sitting on another bench, eating a katsu curry, looking at me. Huh. Weird.
So you've seen me then?
Yeah.
Damn.
What's happening, Mr. Kane? What's the deal?
The deal? Exactly. I need to scope out what the deal is with you.
Nothing.
Nothing that we can see. I am sorry, but my approach with your case has been too clandestine up until now, and I am doubly sorry, but I would like it to return to that.
Where's the big guy?
At home, asleep.
It's 1:30 p.m.
He looked uncomfortable, shuffling slightly in his creased grey trousers.
We've been working the case in shifts.
So stalking.
Well, you hired us.
I didn't pay for it.
Still counts. I am sorry, though. You realise that only you think that the thing is located in your office. My theory is that you are...
I am?
The location? The centre point?
They are stalking me.
So this is an appropriate use of stalking. I am sorry, I'm really tired.
Difficult shift.
I don't know how you expected us to investigate. I tried the books and they seemed like, well, either nothing in the book or too many things that appear in the book, like
Manifestations are often abyssal, or plutonian, or dark, or void-like, or...
I guess I forgive you, Mr. Kane. Tell me what you've read. We're just around the corner.
Oh, the office? Is this a shortcut?
Yeah, which way have you been going?
Around the park.
Jeez, I'm glad I'm not paying.
I am more like an expert than a detective. So, if it's anything, it's a really old Sumerian deity linked to a god of dust that Tiberius is said to have awakened.
But not a ghost.
Ghosts are just weirdly unlikely. It's a error of confirmation bias. Let me put it this way. I had to inoculate myself to be able to see ghosts, and even then I need a top-up sometimes.
Ghosts are real, huh?
And much worse. In fact, when I... Oh wow, this is much quicker.
Yeah, duh. I've only got a couple of minutes. Tell Fields just to say hi when I get off work. I think I'd feel safer walking home with him anyway.
I get that, yes. The stakeout was his idea completely. Anyway, I'll be in this burger restaurant if you...
He stops dead, staring past my right shoulder as he looks at the office door. His face is not just fear, but fear mixed with curiosity and a hint of disappointment. I turn, and there is the bloody thing, the bloody bin bag demon. It's well over 6 foot and is dripping a black ichor. Its hole had cut the window frame in half, then the door. Not as scary as Ramesh's face being split, but still bloody disconcerting. I honestly have no idea of what to do. I've never wanted to be the bloody damsel in distress, but at that moment I breathed a sigh of relief as Mr. Kane stepped around me in one quick motion. That the demon didn't pay any attention. It didn't scream at me. It walked on a floor we couldn't see, on a plane that we are not a part of. And then it crouched, dropped to one knee, and this time I saw it fizzle into nothingness, turning into the sparks you see from a Van de Graaff generator. The wall, horribly, slid back to fill the void.
Well, there goes my theory.
Brutus, what? Am I late?
No, we are early.
Why does it smell like pot?
Neighbours, Brutus, I owe you a pint.
It's the building?
It's the bloody building. I thought it was her.
Hello.
Hi. So, the plaque wasn't real?
It's real.
Oh.
But it's retrofitted.
Huh. What does that?
Backwards and forwards. Stalin's commissars.
Guys?
Sorry, I am still confused though, and we work things out aloud.
So what do we do?
I have 2 ideas.
Yeah?
Really?
In both instances, it's bait again.
Not me again.
I am against that.
No, like, what have they done so far?
Walked about, looked around. Wait, Mr. Kane, you could see it?
Of course I could.
Cool.
So we lay bait, like we'd leave a pile of weird.
What?
No, I get it. Like if I leave this rooster blood, that guy will at least look at it.
I don't want to pour rooster blood in my office.
In the loos?
Well, hang on. Let me pose my second idea. We attack the sign.
I don't want you guys getting arrested for attacking my building.
We do both.
Both is good.
Both is terrible.
Not blood or property damage, but both ideas at once.
Oh dear
It'll
Lord.
be great. It'll be fine, I think.
We were back at the building at 7 because my job has become the centre of my life in so many different bloody ways. I had said it would be empty at 7, just in case. I was wrong. I'd forgot about the cleaners, so we sat in the burger joint and tried to wait it out. They tried to get me into professional wrestling with the idea that Roland Barthes wrote an intellectual essay about it. I didn't have the heart to tell them that I don't know who Roland Barthes is. The cleaners finally left. I felt dumb, though they were nice about it.
This is what I whipped up. I am very proud of it.
He pulled out a doll of a man, or a woman, made of twisted leaves, flax and wheat, tied together with ropes. Its arms were at a right angle, and from its neck there hung 4 or 5 little silver moon badges. It had a couple of lines in red on its stomach, bisected by a larger bit of rope, like something from a church bell. The strangest part is that it absolutely stunk of rum. His sallow face really did look very proud.
That's something. You should start an Etsy.
Oh, well, they better pay recorded delivery, because if you put this on a plane, that thing is going down. I wouldn't trust this buried in 5 feet of concrete in a shipping container.
What, is it radioactive?
Bloody hell. You've made like 50 bad luck charms and mixed them up.
I love it. I named it Howard.
Cute. So, okay, as I understand it, I'm going to run and tie Herman to the sign.
Howard.
Yeah, and then it should be so attracted and distracted, we can nab him. Barring that, we can suddenly get a better look at the damn thing.
Any reason you want me to do it?
No. Do you want to flip? Here, hold him a sec. I have a coin somewhere. Ah. So.
Heads.
Tails never fails.
Damn it! Okay, let me just...
He does realise you flipped a coin whilst he held a hyper bad luck charm, right?
He does not.
You're happy, I noticed.
Yes, I am.
He cut an imposing figure, crossing the street and going to the door of the business. I thought about cameras and silent alarms. I also thought about never having to worry about horrifying things appearing to me. I watched him. Blazer pulled over his head as he stepped over the curb. It happened. Right next to him, the tear, the rip, the same place where the plaque was. Ripped, stolen, moved like a Photoshop tool. Kane and I were running, sprinting even. We didn't know what we could do or what we should do. We didn't know anything. The root beer that he'd been sipping on moments ago spiraled into a little cosmos, a little nebula, and I saw it, pumped by adrenaline and pumped by grief. Christ. I don't want to describe what happened. Fields was walking, and it came running. The bin bag demon didn't even seem to see him, only focusing on the doll. Next to Fields was a boxy European car, and suddenly Brutus, a 6'8"-ish, 400-poundish man, crashed through it, nose bloody, scared and confused. Honestly, my heart wrenched a little. The stars are out that night, and an awful thing, not secured, came looking for him. Heart, wrought, shoulder, fall, car, demon. It stood over Howard the doll and reached out a grim and devoid of colour hand to it. I hoped above all hope that Brutus hadn't died, as a pool of his blood.
No! You bastard!
Kane tried to body check the damn thing, but he fell through it, missing it entirely. But not in our reality. God, my mind hurts. I remember the curve coming up to meet me, in reality fading into abstract consciousness, with mortality veering off into a block of blood-fueled hatred. Did I live? Did these two idiot heroes live? Are they heroes? If David Bowie met me, would he think I was interesting?
No. Please, no.
Just a man, Lucifer. Just a man convinced of his divinity. Just a man.
This. I am not saying this. What? My left eye rolls back into my head and my arms bend backwards. For a moment, I see that with different and disparate moments, I could be Lucifer Kane. I am Lucifer Kane, as much as he is nothing, a projection. I'm staring at Kane, but I do not see him. I see past him and through him. He's cracked at the middle like a teacup. No, he turns to the left and flows a sickly purple, his body crackling. With one sick, flowing motion, he grabs his partner, and for a second, I fully understand. Energy to particles to matter. Dark flows from one and is grounded by the other. It's beautiful for a moment. It's tragic for an eternity. He needs to feel this world, for he is not and cannot. We know, and we can't split them. Split them! Split them! Partner takes partner in an embrace. My left eye shields itself, lest I lose my mind. But my right eye sees. 10 years ago, they did this. 1,000 years ago, it was the great shaman who died for them both. 1,000 years before that, it was the bloodied steaming shaman who let the rock die for his precious Turandot. 1,000 years before that, they both fell to the pain of the act. 1,000 years before that, the rock stood and stabbed his chest, awaiting the shaman. Yet 1,000 years before that, a shaman prayed for there to be a rock. All these moments, all this time. The shaman took his rock's head under his arm and fell on his back. The rock's head was forced into the ground, and the shaman took the blow, and the rock took the energy. And Fields rose, his eyes bit with a viperous tooth. He stepped over Kane, held out a hand, and the beast, the monster stepped into the open hand. I couldn't believe it. It couldn't believe it. Fields wasn't there. The rock was. And it thought how it didn't want to see the meddling pontiff, the hierophant, this monster, ever again. He grabs him, he chokes him. He rips the badge from his breast.
I have you, Hannah. God, I have you. Metala libertina metala umbasa dideron. Please. Metala libertina metala umbasa dideron.
He's got something. He's got something.
Shh.
He's got something.
What did you get of it? What is that?
Brutus wiped away the black ichor of the chunk in his hand. His thumb rubbed across the object, about an inch across as it reduced away in his hand.
Oh. Huh.
He held it up to me, and between his thumb and forefinger was an embroidered patch, ripped from a uniform of a little black-on-black Union Jack. So I became an unintelligible conduit for the story of the universe there for a bit.
You did? She did. Almost killed her. That answers that.
Why would they look at me?
Yeah, you're obviously interested there, I'm sorry, I am a little shook up.
So it's just some guy?
I better quit my job.
Just some army dude?
I can't think of anything scarier.
Apathy is happening.
Back at the flat, we all didn't talk. Purposely didn't. Fields made tea. Kane pulled out a jet black tint from under the interview chair and opened it. He had pre-wrapped chocolate chip biscuits. He threw it on the table. Despite being bleeding and bruised, Mr. Fields looked hurt for the first time.
You have been listening to Kane and Fields, Paranormal Investigators. Protected by Guardians was written by Jack Fitzpatrick and Oliva Morris, starring Greta Clarkson as Hanna, Jack Fitzpatrick as Kane, Oliva Morris as Fields. Additional voices were provided by Ali Cambell, Jackie Milne, Jeffrey MacCarthy, Jude Hodgson Hann, J.D. Ledford, and James Oliva. The song Flirting With the Devil was written and performed by Madeline Morris. The program was directed by Jude Hodgson Hann, sound designed by Jude Hodgson Hann and Oliva Morris, and it was a Skadi Symphony production.
Honesty wire, a crossroad, a blood path. But I don't know what it's for. 'Cause I ignored the level until they changed the state. Flirting with the devil. It feels right to suffocate. I ignored the level. And then they changed the state. Flirting with the devil. Feels okay.
Join us on our next feature episode for a tale of nursery rhymes, providence, and buckets of drugs, as Kane and Fields find Wonderland.